Hello and welcome to this First Children's Finance webinar. Today's topic is the Child Care Infrastructure Fund, Navigating the Application Portal, Tips and Tricks. We'd like to start by sharing the contents disclaimer. The advice and materials you receive are not legal advice. If you need legal advice on any of the topics we cover, please reach out to an expert in the field. These materials are used to help your programs and aren't intended to be shared with others. Anyone interested in reviewing today's topics is welcome to contact us. At First Children's Finance, our mission and vision is to help children, families, and communities thrive by increasing the availability, affordability, and quality of early care and education. We accomplish this by providing financial and business development assistance to child care businesses serving low and moderate income families and building partnerships that connect these vital businesses with the resources of the public and private sectors. Our team is located across Oregon, and we look forward to partnering and supporting childcare business owners. Now we'd like to share some more about the Child Care Infrastructure Fund, or CCIF. CCIF was established through House Bill 3005 during the 2023 legislative session to strengthen childcare infrastructure across Oregon. This grant program supports the development, expansion, and improvement of childcare facilities. Business Oregon administers the grant, while the Department of Early Learning and Care, DELC, oversees statewide business technical assistance, working with Northwest Native Chamber and First Children's Finance to support childcare providers throughout the process. The goal of CCIF is to increase childcare slots and enhance the quality of childcare facilities, providing critical support for families and communities across Oregon. This webinar is designed to help you submit a complete and on-time CCIF grant application. Many applicants face challenges that can delay or even jeopardize their application. That's why we want to highlight the key reasons why this training is so important. First, if you're aware of common mistakes, you can avoid them. This will save you time, reduce stress, and prevent delays in the application process. Simple errors like missing required fields or misunderstanding program guidelines can lead to setbacks that are easily avoidable. For example, some applicants have struggled with knowing which expenses are covered under CCIF funding, leading to misalignment with the program requirements. Second, planning ahead and knowing how to address potential problems will ensure that your application is submitted on time, complete, and aligned with CCIF guidelines. This is critical because incomplete applications may result in disqualification. Finally, we want to make sure that you know where to find the right support. Throughout this webinar, we'll direct you to helpful resources, including FCF trainings, technical assistance, and webinars like this that can help you strengthen your application. If you have questions or concerns at any stage of the application process, these resources will be here to guide you. By the end of this session, our goal is for you to feel more confident in navigating the grant process, avoiding pitfalls, and submitting a well-prepared application. Let's get started. Here are the key topics for today. We will cover 3 key CCIF resource documents, learnings from round 1, First Children's Finance Technical Assistance, the tips and tricks handout, how to navigate the application, and how to set up an account, as well as password creation and how to upload documents. Let's dive in. Looking at the image on the right of the slide, it's labeled resources. This picture was taken from the Business Oregon webpage for CCIF. As you can see, there's a long list of grant resources that can help strengthen your application. From this long list, there are 3 key documents you don't want to miss. The checklist, the program guidelines, and the external scoring rubric. The checklist. This is a great starting point. It helps you to see if you're eligible for the grant and provides a listed guide for specific requirements on each project type. Additionally, there is the program guidelines. The guidelines will help you understand what the requirements are for each of the types of applications and how funds should be used. We also have the scoring rubrics. Review how your application will be evaluated to maximize your scoring. There's also the link listed for the program guidelines and other documents at the bottom of this slide. This checklist is a great starting point. It helps you determine if you're eligible to apply for the grant. Here in the image, we can see an example of the project requirements for minor renovation and repair grants. We can see some of the required checkboxes and continued use requirements. We recommend going directly to the Business Oregon website to download these documents and have them readily available to review during your grant application process. Up next, we'll talk about the program guidelines. This is like the handbook. It has all the rules and contains a lot of important information that you need to review carefully. The document contains key details, including the purpose and goal of CCIF, the types of projects that can be funded, and the specific requirements for each project, such as the continued use agreement, which defines how long a facility must remain operational after receiving the grant. Furthermore, you will find details on how the application is scored and prioritized. CCIF is competitive, and applications are evaluated based on factors such as project readiness to proceed, alignment with CCIF goals, and impact on increasing childcare capacity. Priority is given to projects in different communities, maybe those that are operating in childcare deserts, definitely for those that expand infant and toddler care, and you'll want to understand the rubric fully to ensure that you're capturing as many points as possible. Because the grant is competitive, applications are scored on readiness, sustainability, community need, and prioritization. Up next, we'll look at an example of the scoring rubric. We can see here for the new construction or major renovation that there are different categories of points: exemplary, reasonable, questionable, missing, and each of the scoring phases will have information. If you want to know how your application will be evaluated, this document gives you the details and will help you maximize your score. Some of the scoring categories include infant and toddler services, hours of operation, readiness to proceed. In the area of community alignment, this is where you show how your project meets the specific needs of your community. Points are based on how many of the local needs you address, like expanding infant or toddler slots, improving safety, or serving priority populations. Phase 1 scores program type and priority population. Phase 2 assesses project readiness, community alignment, and sustainability. Sustainability focuses on the ability to operate long-term. Reviewers will look at your experiences, staffing plans, and financial strategy, and whether you have multiple sources of income like other grants, ERDC, or private pay. For the example in this image, to score 3 points, you must describe 5 or more ways that your project meets community needs. If you only miss one, you will get 1 point. If no details are provided, you would get 0 points. Review and understand the scoring rubric carefully, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Next, we compiled the most common challenges applicants experienced in round 1 of funding. We used feedback to create a list of 7 best practices. We encourage all applicants to plan ahead to avoid last-minute stress. Many applicants waited until the deadline to apply and they experienced technical issues and requested support with a short time frame. This led to delays and some were unable to submit their application on time. Our tip is to complete the application early to ensure adequate time for support and if any glitches arise. Also, we recommend using a computer. Applicants using phones, tablets, and other technological platforms experienced issues with IT and the application. Using a desktop or laptop computer can help support the process. Understanding program guidelines and requirements early. Some applicants didn't read the support materials. It had led to confusion, and some were unable to gather all the necessary documentation to apply within the deadline. We recommend reviewing and understanding the information early so that you're able to gather all the necessary documentation. We also recommend answering all the questions. Leaving a response blank may result in receiving a 0 score for an unanswered question. Before submitting out your application, carefully review all the fields for completion. You may want to ask a trusted peer or the technical assistance providers to review it one last time. Bottom line, getting things done early and seeking assistance right away will help lead to success. Some of these topics were covered in other parts of the presentation, but we wanted to remind that for the application, save your answers as you go along so that when you enter the information in each of the fields, it continues to stay in there. We'll demonstrate what this looks like in just a moment. We want to ensure access to email and the portal. Some applicants missed requests for additional documents because they used an email that was either shared or somebody in their organization created the application with their personal email and then they were unable to access it later. And we always recommend seeking assistance early. Don't wait until the deadline to ask for help. Getting in touch with the technical assistance providers ahead of time will help ensure that you're able to get the support you need and follow through with completing whatever steps you need to complete the application. At the end of this presentation, we'll share the tips and tricks handout as an attachment with the email. The document is intended to be printed and saved in a secure location. The quick reference guide is to help you navigate the application process smoothly. It highlights important points made in the presentation to help you ensure a complete and on-time submission. At the bottom of this handout, you can also write down your email login details and the location of your project. Some organizations may have more than one site and address, so making sure that you can match your login email to your site will be helpful if attempting to re-enter the portal at a later time. So how to navigate the application. Up next, we'll review some of the program requirements, gather the necessary documentation, review application eligibility, and if you applied to round 1, we'll discuss what it would look like to get it copied or cloned for round 2. To set up an account, you'll want to log in by navigating to the Business Oregon application portal. You'll click the Apply Now button and it'll lead you to the picture on the left. Here, if you have an account that you used before, you may log in. If you don't remember your password, you can use the Forget Your Password icon on the bottom left. Or if you need to create a new account, you would click the Create an Account icon. If you did not apply to round 1, you will need to create an account. Here, you'll enter your first name, last name, email, and generate a password. You also want to make sure to check the box if you're creating the account for the Child Care Infrastructure Program, which in this case it is. And there's also the math question to ensure that it's not a bot that's opening this account, but an actual human. We have some tips on password creation. It's going to require a minimum of 8 characters and needs to contain at least one number. An example of what this could look like is FCF Oregon 25. We do ask that you create a password that makes sense to you and that you remember and that is not generic. Also, if you have challenges with securing your password, we ask that you save it in a secure location. None of the technical assistance providers will ever ask you for your password. And remember to keep your files locked and protected. Once you enter the portal, you need to click the Child Care Infrastructure Fund button next to the house to enter the application portal. Clicking on the house will not open the application, so please make sure that you're clicking on the words Child Care Infrastructure Fund. Up next, it will bring you to the buttons that have round 1 and round 2. You'll select round 2 for this application cycle. Once you click round 2, it'll bring you to this next screen on the left. And this is where you have the opportunity to select your preferred language. By clicking the drop-down caret at the top and scrolling down to your preferred language, you can choose the language that you prefer to work with for this application. Once you read and agree to the information for the full program guidelines, you can click Next Page, and this will bring you to the start of your application. Once you're in the start of the application, you'll see at the top right that there's the opportunity to save your progress and resume later, or resume a previously saved form. If you would like to resume a previously saved form, you can click the button on the right and that will apply for round 2. However, if you wanted to access your submission from round 1, we would need to request that Business Oregon clones your application. So please reach out to us and let us know if that's the case. Finally, if you need to upload some documents, you can click on the blue buttons to choose a file, and if you need to replace it, just click the blue button again. Remember to keep file sizes under 25 megabytes and to separate documents as opposed to having them all be in one large file. This is because each of the different fields will populate in a different area for the application, and you want to be sure that it counts for the points for each area. A W-9 and a demographic survey, as the example on the left, would be two different documents. One of them is required and the other isn't. So being able to ensure that you meet the requirement with adding the document to correct field is important. Some of the different file types that are acceptable are PDFs, documents like Word docs, JPEGs, PNGs, Excel files, and there are other types. If you have any issues uploading your documents, please reach out to the technical assistance providers and we'll help you reformat your document so that you can attach it or submit it to Business Oregon if it's larger than 25 megabytes so that they can attach it to your application. Finally, we want to be able to provide more context of what type of support First Children's Finance can offer. This list will provide you with some examples. To ensure language is not a barrier when applying for CCIF for our multilingual applicants, we offer interpretation and translation support in a variety of languages to include Spanish, Vietnamese, Russian, Mandarin, and other languages. If you have a general question or need feedback on your application or want to review past scores, we're here to guide you. If you're looking for more in-depth support, we can arrange a meeting for business consultation or financial analysis. These services can help you understand the financial sustainability of your childcare business with the grant. Now let's talk about the childcare business trainings that are available at no cost to childcare providers. It's important to note that including business training certificates in your CCIF application can help demonstrate your readiness to proceed if awarded the funds. So for FCF Oregon trainings, we have some upcoming budget and cash flow projections, separating business finances, managing enrollment, developing a marketing plan, business policies and practices, and quality staffing. We offer no-cost childcare business management trainings covering topics such as those listed in the field. Each training provides you with practical handouts that you can apply to your business. To register for the training, scan the QR code or visit our website, fcforegon.org. Again, touching back on who we are and what we do, First Children's Finance Oregon is a leader in growing the supply of excellent childcare. We empower childcare businesses and collaborate with communities and the state of Oregon to identify and implement strategies to increase the supply of high-quality childcare. We bring new thinking about facility use, licensing reform, financial incentives, and community partnerships. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, our contact information is provided in this slide along with our social media handles. Please reach out to our phone line or our email for any general questions, and our training calendar is listed in the firstchildrensfinance.org/Oregon website or fcforegon.org. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you have a great day, and if you have any questions, we look forward to hearing from you.